Hello, morning from sunny York. Another sunny day here, but you'll notice I'm actually repotting this olive tree in the shade. So today I'd like to show you how to repot an olive tree. You'll probably wonder why when it's looking so healthy, it's full of flowers. But if you notice, it's in a small pot. And what tends to happen in the wind, it actually gets blown over. And you can see it then gets all rubbish in the top, all the stones have gone. And obviously every time it falls over it's damaging the pot as well as your tree. It's now probably about 6.5 foot, 7 foot tall. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pot it into a larger pot. Always go for something between 1.5 to 2 inches wider than the current. So that's the existing pot, and there's the new pot. Always make sure, it might not be terracotta, it could be a plastic one, but always make sure there's a hole in the bottom for good drainage. I'm putting it into a terracotta pot. As you'll see, I've put some hooks on the wall. You can just see them there, some steel hooks. I'm going to then put a nice braiding round the front of the pot, back into the second hook over there, and that'll stop it blowing over. As well, for extra ballast and for good drainage, in the bottom of the pot I'm going to put some gravel, so that'll be just like small stones, anything that you can pick up from the garden centre. So, let's get started. So first of all, we're going to deal with the drainage. It's just nice so you can see what's going on. Put my gloves on. And here goes. Got some gravel here. Probably put about, I don't know, sort of 2 inches in the bottom, depends how big. I mean, it's quite a big pot already, so I'll probably put just about 2 inches in the bottom there, just for the drainage. I'll put it in a terracotta, not ideal for winter, because what happens is all the water can actually hold into the pot, freeze and then crack. However, even though I've got the hooks here for summer, what I will do is I'll move it into the porch because it's sheltered here, and so it's not getting much rainfall. That's the thing that kills them. You can leave your olive trees outside, but it doesn't like to be wet and have a wet and soggy bottom. So what I do is, in winter I'll move it in there and I'll put 2 more hooks under the porch. First year I had it, I did keep it in the house, in the dining room, and it lost most of its leaves. It didn't look very healthy. So last year I brought it out, and then last winter I kept it out under this porch and it was fine. If it's really bad, and especially now I've put it into a terracotta, what I'll probably do is put some bubble wrap round here and just keep it gently watered. If it's going to be frosty, I won't water it, and I definitely won't water it on a night. Only water it if you know the sort of sun's going to be on it, some sort of winter sun, or if it's looking really, really dry. So, moving on. Got my stones in the bottom. Got some multi-purpose compost with added johnins in here. And what I'll do is, just for extra drainage, and because obviously it's a Mediterranean tree, I've just got some sharp sand. I have plenty of sand, I've already put some in, but I'll just add a bit more. You can see what this does is it opens up the mixture and it makes it more light. And again, it helps with sort of drainage, stops it freezing. Water will run through it easy, but I mean that's how they like it, so they're sort of used to it. They don't mind the sort of dry conditions, a bit like the sort of lavenders and rosemaries. So I've already put loads in. I mean, I'd roughly look at putting about, say, 30–40%. So 3 times or 4 times. And it makes a nice mixture, nice and open. The roots like it, and it's good for drainage. As you can see, it's more or less the same sort of height, so I probably won't need to put much in the bottom, so I'll just put a sprinkle in the bottom. Mainly the extra compost is going to go in the sides. You might say, why am I putting on? As I say, it's because it's looking really toppy, it keeps falling over, and just it adds extra nutrients because I'm putting now fresh compost in here. Existing compost I'll leave. if you've sort of potted on last year, what I would do is I'd sort of remove this maybe 1-2 inches of compost out the top of here and actually put new in there, and that like refreshes it. So you don't have to repot it every year, it's just because I have to on this particular occasion. Okay, so I'll just move the tree in place. All trees and plants have a nice side, so have a look at it first and decide which one you want to be. Getting a bit caught in the clematis here as well. So what I'll do is decide which is a nice side, and then we'll move it into place. Just tangled in with the clematis. Okay. I think this looks to be the best one. So just watch your back or get somebody else to help you. Preferably don't water it before you try and move it around, because it'll make it really heavy. I'm just going to now pop it in there. And actually that's about the right level. By the time I put the compost in the sides, it'll be nice. And then I'm going to put some mulch on the top, which will be stones. What I'll do first of all, just to help it settle into the new pot, lift it out and slightly just rubbing my hands through it, not breaking the roots, but that just teases them out and makes them grow into the new space. And again, do that at the bottom. Like that, simple as that. And it just gets them nice. Okay. Make sure I've got my nice side again. Yep, that's fine. And of course, important is to make sure it's straight as well, not leaning. You don't want a leaning tree. That's that, okay. And now I've got a nice, I put plenty of sand in here before, and I've also put a handful of gravel in as well. So now just fill in the sides. You don't want to pack it down hard, but you don't want any air pockets in there, so just make sure that you're putting it all the way around. It drops into the bottom. Nearly there. So just remember, it is a Mediterranean plant, but you can leave it outside. So you could actually put it in the greenhouse if you don't have a covered pot, or if you did want to take it indoors, you could. But bear in mind, it does get bigger, it does take a lot of space, and you're likely to lose leaves if you've got the central heating on. So unless you've got a really cool room, I wouldn't really take it indoors. So if you've got a sort of cold porch, either covered, as in, with a door or not, that's fine. I don't want to put too much in because I'm obviously going to water it, and I'm going to put a mulch on. As soon as I water it, it will settle. I'm surprised how much water this will take, but it will do. So just make sure it's gone down, just to stop any air pockets. Oh, by the way, they actually call me the Stripey Gardener. That's what my neighbours and friends call me. You tell me. Right, there we go. Time for... and the other thing I'll also do is I put some fertiliser in. What this is chicken pellets. I usually put this in during sort of spring. I put it into plants. So what I'll do here is I'll just put a few in here. And these will soak in when I water it. You can buy them in boxes, garden centre, supermarkets. And it's just actually chicken manure. They come in pellets. I always use gloves, but it's okay to use. It's not a bad. It's not like using raw manure. Still use gloves though. I'd always recommend that. And they're just like little pellets. So you can mix them into your compost, push them down, and then every year in spring I would put those in there, and it just helps. Just gives it some nutrients. Use those on other plants. And always again in spring, because it's high in nitrogen, and nitrogen's good for the leaves, so it helps the leaves and makes it into a nice strong plant. There we go. I'm going to give it a good water. Should do it. And then I'll finish it off with a mulch. There we go. And something else I should also remind you, if you are going to pot this tree or any other tree, make sure you get to the spot where you want to keep it. So I'm going to move it here, and it's going to be tied onto here. If I'd have made it up over there, I'd have never managed to move this back into here. So just make sure you pot it into the place you want. Put pebbles in the bottom, which will help drainage for any tree, and also helps ballast as well, so it stops it from rocking. So I just get that firm there. I'll now put my rope on there to stop the wind, because it'll still catch the wind there, and then that should be fine. And then in summer all I'll do is unhook it from these hooks, and I'm going to move it under there, and it should be fine for the winter. If it's really bad, I'll put some bubble wrap around here and probably just cover some of the soil. But other than that, the top bit should be fine, because it's not going to get much water, and it should keep frost free under there, so that'll be fine. This is one of my first videos, but I will be doing one on perennials, potting on, and also actually I've got a nice gunnery tree or plant that I'm going to pot on, so I'll actually show you what I'm going to do with that. That's been a bit of a doctor sort of on that, because it's looking not so healthy at the moment, so it needs some TLC. Okay, well thank you very much for watching. Hope you found that of use, and look forward to seeing you on future videos. Thank you.